How's it going, everyone? It's Steel Suede here from Diabetic Aesthetics. Gonna be doing a Q&A video. Now, the last time I did a Q&A was around 2 months ago or so, and I got asked maybe around 15 questions. But this time, when I announced that I was doing a Q&A around a week ago, I got over like 60 question submissions, which is so awesome. That means the channel is really growing, and a lot of you want to know more about me, which just makes me really, really happy. But anyways, that's a lot of questions. I don't want to do all of that in just one video. It's gonna be way too long. I only want to make this at most like a 10-minute video. Let's hope it stays that way. But I'm gonna do a part 1 and then a part 2. So obviously this will be part 1, and I narrowed it down to around like 30 questions, just because there's a lot of questions that are very, very similar. So I just picked the best ones and the best suitable for the video. So I'm gonna go ahead, answer around 15 for this video, and then we're gonna do a part 2 Q&A video, which I'll upload after this, the last 15. So sit back, relax, and enjoy, and let's get started.
It's caught in the crossfire. It's caught in the crossfire.
All right, so question number 1, is protein powder and supplements worth taking? So the only supplements I think that are worth taking and actually worth buying is protein powder, that's one of them, and creatine, and then multivitamins and fish oils. So protein powder is something, honestly, that's just for a convenience's sake. So not everyone has time to cook chicken all the time or to cook protein sources, so it's just a really, really easy way to get your protein in, having like a scoop or 2 a day, just to get to your protein intake for the day. So that's like a gram of protein per pound of body weight. That's usually what I recommend. So it just makes getting your protein in for the day a lot easier. So that's why I would recommend it, but it's not needed. And now creatine, that's a supplement I do recommend, just because there's a lot of science that backs it up, and that it actually does help your performance in the gym. And I think that's really the only 2 like supplements that are actually worth buying. And then multivitamins and fish oils, I think those are just necessary for overall like micronutrient health and just in general. But yeah, those are really the supplements I would ever even think about taking. I don't take anything else. All right, question number 2. What is your height and weight? So I get this a lot. My height is 5'7", maybe 5'8" now, like around 5'7"-ish to 5'8", but I would say like 5'7.5" maybe. And my morning body weight is around 173 pounds. Now, the next question, what do you think your body fat percentage is currently? You look around 10 to 12%. A lot of people who do say I look 10 to 12%, but I would personally say I'm around 14 or 15%. I know it might not look like I'm 14% or so, but you guys have to realize my body fat composition is kind of really weird. I hold a lot more fat in my face and my arms. A lot more people usually hold fat in their core area. That's why you guys see in my videos, my abs are usually a lot more leaner, even at a high body weight, like 173 pounds at 5'7". That is pretty crazy. Usually no one would have abs like that, but I just don't hold too much fat in my core and my chest. Like I said, my body fat distribution is kind of weird. But anyways, next question. How often do you train, and how many sets do you do in total per workout? So I train 6 days a week. I do a push-pull leg split. Well, technically I do a push, legs, pull, then repeat, and then off. That's how it looks in a week. So 6 days a week. And how many sets per workout? Usually every exercise, it really depends. I'll usually do around 3 to 4 sets per exercise. Next question. In your opinion, what is the best age to start lifting? So in my opinion, I would say your teenage years is really the best age to start lifting, just because your hormones are through the roof and your testosterone is just going, and you know, you're hitting puberty and stuff. So maybe around like 15, 16, you hear a lot of people starting at like 13, 14. So it really just depends on the person, honestly. But I would just focus on really, really good form and focusing on the right movement. So just really working out like 3 or 4 days per week only. So not working out like every single day, and only focusing on like compound movements and getting really, really strong at those and developing good form on those, just so you develop a great foundation for when you're older, you know, like in your 20s or so. Okay, so do you do an HbA1c test every 3 months? What's the usual result? So I usually do get my A1C test I used to get it every 3 months, but now that I'm away for college and stuff, it's kind of not as convenient to do that. So I usually get around maybe 4 or 5, maybe around 4 months or so, maybe 2 or 3 times a year. And usually it turns out around like 5.8 to 6, a little under 6, but you know, around the 5 ranges, you know, 5.8 to like maybe like 5.11 or so. So this is a good one. What's your view on the vegan diet for bodybuilding, and would you try it? My view on a vegan diet to get results in bodybuilding, and if you can succeed with it or not, I think you can. You truly can. As long as you get the right amount of protein intake, which you can on a vegan diet, then you should be fine, and especially getting the calories in for the day that you need to get to your goals, then you're gonna be okay. But I would say it's a lot harder. It's not as convenient. Not everyone can just eat. Eating just vegan all the time, especially let's say in my position, being a college student, and just having a lot of restrictive maybe diets, like me, I'm a type 1 diabetic. I have celiac disease, it kind of makes it a little harder. Maybe people with like different allergies, I don't know, but it's just not something you could stick to every single day like a normal diet, eating meat or eating eggs, you know, dairy. It just makes it a lot easier doing so. But if you do it for the, you know, right ethical reasons, you personally want to do it for your own reasons, then go for it. You know, you could totally get results on a vegan diet. You know, is it easier? Probably not, but it's definitely doable. Okay, do you currently have a girlfriend, or have you ever had one? Yes, I have currently had girlfriends, starting from middle school, but obviously I wouldn't count a girlfriend middle school, because it's middle school. But yeah, middle school, and then high school, I've had girlfriends. And guys, I've been in college for 2 years, so I've had my fair share of talking to girls. But anyways, I am currently talking to a girl right now. Nothing like girlfriend, boyfriend title, but kind of seeing how things go, and that's that. What is your opinion on supplements like mass gainers and creatine, being a diabetic? So I think you could take supplements as a diabetic. Like let's say I get a lot of questions on whey protein. You can take whey protein as a diabetic, but I would recommend staying away from high sugar things, or even like pre-workouts. There's a lot of pre-workouts and protein powders with a lot of carbs and a lot of unnecessary sugar in it. So, you know, stick with something low carb, low sugar, high protein, and low fat, and you should be all right. And like, I would honestly stay away from mass gainers. A lot of people ask me if they can take that as a diabetic. It just has too much sugar, and you can make your own mass gainer with natural ingredients without all the unnecessary sugar, you know, unadded sugar, because that's just gonna spike your blood sugar. And creatine, I wouldn't say creatine is a problem, in my opinion. I'm no doctor, don't take my word. I personally take creatine, and I have never had problems with it, so I'm gonna continue taking it. How do you manage to consume enough calories without having your blood sugar from rising above the recommended numbers? I get a lot of questions like this. There's a lot of people that see my diet and see that I eat a lot of carbs, and then try that out, and it doesn't necessarily work for them. Just know, guys, you have to really master and dial down that carb insulin ratio during that time of the day. It's different for everybody, and it's a lot harder for most people to like eat high carbohydrates. So remember, you can always eat a higher fat diet, and as long as you're getting a gram of protein per pound of body weight, and you're hitting your calorie goal, whether it be with more fats or more carbs, you're gonna be just fine. Everyone's body works out differently with fats and carbs, but if you're a type 1 diabetic, most likely you will work a little better with fats. So just go higher fats and lower carbs. That's not a problem. So that's kind of like my recommendation to you. How old were you when you were diagnosed with type 1 diabetes? So I was 4 years old when I was diagnosed, so I've had it for a little over 16 years now. So yeah, it's been a really, really long time. One hell of a roller coaster, that's for sure. Okay, so this is a deep one. What is your 3-year plan? Where do you see yourself, and what are you trying to accomplish? So I don't necessarily have a booked out or mapped out 3-year plan, but in 3 years, I would love to see myself traveling the world, experiencing new things, meeting new people, making connections, and most importantly, doing what I love every single day, and doing what makes me happy, and just being happy in general. I'm not like most people, guys. Even though I am in college right now, my plan isn't just to finish college, get a degree, and then get a steady paying job after that, get a car, you know, get a house, and kind of just rank up the tier in my job, and just kind of like the mediocre life. That's not what I want to do with my life. I want to do something that makes me happy. I want to work on something now that truly is something that I could see myself doing for not 8 hours a day from 9 to 5. Something I could see myself doing 16, 18 hours a day, non-stop, just not stop thinking about it for the rest of my life. And you know what, this is something that I see myself doing one day. I want to build something from my own name. You know, I want to leave a footprint in this world. I want people to know my name. I want to change the world in some sort of way. And that's not going to happen by just going to school, getting a degree, and then getting a job, and just making some money, and getting a home, and just living that mediocre life. I hate mediocrity. I hate it, hate it, hate it. I want to grind from now, when I'm young. That's why I advise so many people to find something they're so passionate about, something they cannot live without, something they can't stop thinking about, whether they're eating, breathing, sleeping, whatever that may be. And to me, that's this, you know, living that fitness lifestyle, educating other people about fitness, creating like a presence online. You know, I love social media, I love marketing myself, and I just love really promoting myself, not working for anybody, doing something for anybody else. So, you know, I see myself owning a business one day, something for myself, and just most importantly, improving on myself every single day. And I don't think that's gonna happen by just working 9 to 5 and getting a degree and just doing that average lifestyle thing. That's not me. I wanna take risks in my life. I wanna do the most that I can. I wanna look back and say that I have done the most I possibly could. There's so many people, I have all my friends saying, oh, like I wonder what it's like in the real world, or we have to do this now before we get to the real world or the real life, you know, after college. That's what they're saying with the real world. But I think a lot of people don't realize we are living in the real world now. The real world does not begin after you get a degree or after college. The real world begins when you mentally tell yourself, wow, I have a passion for something and I can start building upon it now. That could happen at 12 years old, 13 years old, 14 years old, someone like me around like 17, 18 years old. That's why you see there's like 12-year-olds, 15-year-olds who are so successful right now, because they found their passion and they tapped into that mental state. But anyways, that was really deep, but I might have kind of over-answered that, but I hope that kind of gives you a more clear representation of really what I'm about and what I want to do with my life. But anyways, let's do the last and final question. If you could have a plane ticket to go anywhere in the world, where would it be? That's a really good one. I don't have a specific place where I want to be. I'd love to go to Europe. I've never been there. I have been outside of the US, but never really just specifically in Europe and done like a long trip. But I don't know, I would want to go maybe like a month and just go a few days just everywhere. Like I said, I want to experience everywhere, guys. I want to experience the entire world and just have experiences with different people, getting out of my comfort zone. I love getting out of my comfort zone. That's just something that has always been in me all my life. So, you know, I guess that answers that. But anyways, that's gonna wrap up part 1 of the Q&A video. I'm gonna go ahead and record part 2 right now. I really hope you guys enjoyed this. I really hope this gives you a closer look into my life and who I am. Like I said, about to do part 2 right now, answer the rest of the 15 questions. And if you enjoyed this, please do not forget to give this video a like. Go ahead, comment down below anything else you'd wanna know for future Q&A. And of course, I'll see you all for part 2 in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more. And of course, I'm gonna keep pumping these out and keep the content rolling. Thanks for watching. I'll see y'all in the next video.